So morning, my lovelies. Starting on your mat wherever you're most comfortable. And just allowing this time to be your time. Whatever's going on in life and everything's, a lot of us have got busy stuff. It's just really nice to know that every now and then we have that hour to ourselves on our mat, where we can think and ruminate and just let the mind wander, but also to just come inwards and find our stillness. So just taking a few deep breaths. Lovely deep inhale. Nice long, slow exhale. Maybe even a long sigh. And whenever you do that lovely long sigh at the end of the out breath, it just feels like the shoulders release whatever they're holding. When we come to the breath, it also just brings us into this moment. So check in with how you're feeling today. We do take on a lot of other people's stuff. We all do it. But how are you? What do you need today? How do you feel physically? Just have a little scan through, head to toe. Notice any new sensations or existing ones. And as always, just take a moment to root yourself down. Send your energies through your tailbone or through the soles of your feet. And it's always quite nice, if you wish, to say an affirmation. I am grounded, I am safe. Just tune back into your breath, following the temperature around your nose. And then when you're ready, we'll come to seated. Those of you lying down, just have a moment maybe to full body stretch and then hug the knees in. And if you're already seated and you just want to just maybe gently flex your spine or roll your shoulders. Just these small movements allow us to sort of come into our body, notice what's going on. Tilt the head. And then when we're all seated, we'll come into a meditation. I think mindfulness of breath is a lovely one to step us down gradually into those kind of alpha brain waves, from being very busy in the beta brain waves when we've had stuff going on this morning. So this usually takes about 5 minutes, but I'll time it anyway. And we'll rest our hands. If you want a blanket this time of year to pop over your legs, rest your hands or over your shoulders, it's really nice to just sort of use these extra props. So otherwise, let's just get comfortable seated, relax, let the eyelids drop closed. Just follow the breath a few times. And then when we're ready, we'll start to count the out breath, 1 to 10. So let's begin. Allow the breath to be long, it doesn't have to be rushed. And at the end of 10, just switch to counting the in-breath. Again, don't rush it, just enjoy the length of the breath. Relaxed. After the 10 count on the inhale, just stop counting. Be with the breath, observe the mind. Notice if you still do tend to carry on counting. Just observe. And then just relax into really observing the mindfulness of this breath. Every part of your body that moves as you breathe. The temperature of your breath, the temperature around you. And let's just take one more breath. And we can blink our eyes open. How did that feel today? Excuse me. I prompted you in that third phase whether you actually carried on counting, because it's something that I did. And so I switched it actually to just staying in and then out. And then after a while, in that fourth phase where we just sort of really come into everything that's going on with the breath and the movement, then that fell away as well. So it's a really lovely way of everything sort of just falling away and being just with the breath. So our first pose today is cocoon. So we're going to have one leg stretched out, the other leg we bring up and the foot into the thigh. Just have a few moments. If you need a cushion or a pillow to rest under one of the legs, then that's fine. So let's start with the right leg out and bringing that left foot up into the right thigh. If you're tight like I am today with the hamstring, you might want a bit of added support under the knee, like a small rolled up blanket. Just see how you go with this one. Otherwise, we'll just relax and just start to lean into this and see how it feels. Every time we do these poses, we'll feel a little bit different. So just sort of come into the pose in how it feels today. Deep breaths and just trying to relax. Where does it feel tight still? Sometimes in this pose, it isn't just the stretched leg that you'll feel it. You might feel it round the lower back, on the left side. And just gradually noticing if there's any room for movement. Aware if your right knee feels tight at all. How does it feel to breathe here? Can you feel the rib cage open, or is it just belly breathing? And noticing what's going through your mind, what thoughts are present. Are the thoughts taking you away from the moment, or are they connected with this moment? Just explore if there's any more softness in your body. Is your breath long and deep, or has it turned to being rapid? And then we'll just take one more breath. Gently coming up, nice and slowly. Just really listening to the back and your hip. And then let's lie back, Shavasana. Take your time to roll down. It's really nice just to feel everything. And relax. What do you feel? Where do you feel it? How long does it take to really soften through your back? Where are there still tense muscles in your body? Possibly the abdomen. If you need to just sort of rock the pelvis or wag your tail, just to find neutral spine. And also, where does the chi flow? Where are the cold spots? And how relaxed are you through the back of your body? Is there still scope for softening? So let's bring the right knee in and then the left knee. Nice and slowly, especially if your lower back is feeling a bit tender. Take a rock. You can lift the head if you want to, just to stretch through the spine. And then rolling up, other side. So, starting in that same position. I always like to just sort of walk the pads of the buttocks out so the sit bones connect. And then drawing that right foot into the top of the left thigh. If there is imbalance with the hips, you might find that one side you will need more support. You might need to be a bit looser in the shape that you're in. So just adjust wherever you need to. And then we'll start to relax. If your lower back is tender today, or you just need to be gentle, you might find that you don't lean too much into this at all. Just see what happens. It's always nice to feel the stretch when we're in these poses, so that we're not so relaxed we don't feel it, but not to the point of going to any pain. So as we just gently start to ease into this pose and soften, noticing if you're feeling it in the back of the leg or around the right hip, lower back. And it's always nice to explore where you are on your threshold. If you're feeling a little bit tender like I am today, I'm on the lower end of my threshold, so feeling it but not pushing it. But then there are times when you might like this pose where you really want to feel the outer edge. So just exploring where you are. Do you feel you need to conserve energy today? Or have you excessive energy to release? Just tuning into your breath as well, whether there's a nice deep rhythm. Relaxed shoulders. Let's gently take one more breath here. Slowly lifting up. Noticing if both sides of that pose were quite even, or whether one was a side you could get into more deeply and the other one was a shallow pose. Let's lie down. Feel what we feel. Gently support yourself as you roll. And then let's just explore how long it takes us to really relax through our back. Taking some deep breaths to the belly, noticing as you roll down whether there's a lovely coolness across your chest. This upper abdominal area. It's a really nice pose for the liver and kidneys, bladder. So just keep relaxing, keep finding where there's tightness. Even if it's around the neck and releasing through the neck, softening the chin, sort of knocks on down through your spine. How does your energy feel today? Does it feel settled? Is there a jumpiness to your energy? Any anxiety? Or is it nice and calm, joyful? Let's hug the knees in. We're going to come into a counter pose now, so seal, just to bring a lovely little back bend into the lower lumbar spine. So let's roll up. Coming onto belly. So today I'm going to be quite gentle with myself. Feeling a little bit fragile from lots of working out. So I'm going to take a little pillow just under the sort of belly, lower chest. And then seal. If you've got a block handy, this is always quite nice if you really want to just let your head relax as well. And then part way through these poses, if you feel like you've softened enough, you can take these props away. But it's better to have them than to not. So just letting yourself soften. Lower back can be an area for a lot of us where it feels a bit tender. And then just really enjoying following some deep breaths. If the buttocks or thighs are tight, just trying to unlock whatever's going on there. If you are using a block for your forehead, you might still feel like there's a lot of tension in the neck where you're really holding the head. If you really let go, let the head become heavy, you'll notice what you were holding. So trying to be quite nice and soft in your shoulders and arms. And so halfway through, you might find that actually your lower back is starting to ease. And if you want to move any props, just to feel the pose a bit more, then you can do. How does this pose feel for you today? Do you feel safe? What's going on with the sensation? Does it bring up emotion? Can you identify it? Just notice where your breath is, whether it's shallow in the chest or deep into the belly, opening up into the chest. Feeling a lovely movement of the lower back and the rib cage. Are you relaxed in your arms and wrists? And then one more breath. Gently lower yourself down first, perhaps. Just release into that lower spine. And then we can push ourselves back into child's for a moment, nice and slowly as we change the shape of our spine, going the opposite direction. Take a few moments. Be really gentle and slow with yourself, especially if you're kind of feeling quite tight in these areas. And then just make your way onto your back. There's no rush. It's actually, I find, nicer to move more slowly and feel everything. Just letting everything settle, even if there's still some sort of remnants of sensation from that pose. Relaxing your buttocks. Trying to soften the size of your waist will help the whole back release. So where do you feel it? Take some deep belly breaths, and as you do, you can feel your lower back expand, pushing into the mat perhaps. We can use this deep belly breathing, this conscious expansion like a balloon to really fuel up our body and our energy. So we'll bring our knees in, again gently one at a time to support the lower back. And just take your time, have a lovely rock here. Roll in some circles, really feel what's going on through the back. And then we'll roll up. We're going to come into dragonfly. Dragonfly, not dragon. In case that one scares you. So nice wide-legged stance. We've come forward with cocoon twice. Open up through the hips. A nice counter pose with seal. So we'll come into this. Today, I'm actually going to take a little bit of the edge of a rolled blanket under the buttocks, because it just helps to tilt the pelvis forward a little and encourage a nice length through the spine here. It's something that if you want to, you can just try. It's so subtle, but it is really quite a nice feeling. It's not actually sitting on the cushion, or on the blanket. It's sort of wedging it under the buttocks a little, because there can be a tendency to really roll into these poses. So a nice lift and then tilting forwards, nice stretch, inner thighs here. Lovely, great one for liver and kidneys and spleen. So we're in autumn now, and this links this time of year is with metal, the element metal, and it's the lungs and the large intestine that are connected with this time of year. Colour white. So again, just see where you want to be on your threshold of the pose. At the softer end or the harder end. Relaxing your legs and feeling that lovely stretch. If the breath is shallow, just deepen to the belly. So how do you feel in your pose today?
There'll be some days where you don't come as far down as maybe you're used to. Just noticing what else is going on, where you need to be careful. Satya and ahimsa, truth and non-harm. Are you relaxed in your shoulders and neck? Just check in with your knees if there's any tension there. And does the stretch in either leg feel the same, or is there a real difference one side? How do your calves feel, your hamstrings, your lower back? So we'll just take a few more breaths. Something I can observe in this particular pose today is that I'm nowhere near as far down as I usually come. Really not got the flexibility today, but that's fine. It's just simple observation. So gently come up, lying back. The next pose we're going to do is heart bench. So if you want to grab your blocks and have them close by, you can before you lie down. But have a moment, always have that moment after a pose. Lying back. Another forward fold, but very different sensation through the legs, especially the inner legs. Again, just rock your pelvis if you need to a few times, wag your tail, just get comfortable. Relax, soften any tightness that you're feeling in the front of your body and the back of your body. And it might take quite a few breaths for everything to just gradually release. And gently, when you're ready, bringing right knee in, left knee. Take your time. Nice little rock. So, rolling up, we'll grab our blocks. So yet again, we're coming into a back bend, but this one is a lot more centered on thoracic, less on your lumbar. So let's roll down. Just placing that block behind the heart, that aligning along the length of the spine, and then just the other block for resting your head. And it always takes a few moments just to find that perfect spot where you can feel like you will become comfortable. It always feels odd to start with, even though the number of times we've done this pose. You'll have it positioned slightly differently each time, maybe. Okay,
and relax. If you've still got a blanket handy and you want to just sort of pop it in that gap under the lower back, that could be a nice supportive sensation. So just let your eyelids close, let the chin tuck in. It's really lovely sensation to just let your shoulders fall backwards, opening through your chest. Notice your thoughts, whether they move into sort of the areas of heartfelt or compassion as we open our heart center here. Even though we do relax into this pose, just check whether there is still a bit of tension anywhere in the upper back and neck. And this pose always lends itself to tucking the chin in gently and breathing ujjayi. We can incorporate ujjayi breath. You can release ujjayi anytime you want, just breathe normally. And one more breath. Lifting the head slowly, using your arms to support your lift. Engaging the core just a little as you lift up. And then coming down. I always feel good after that one. Even if it's sort of a bit uncomfortable being in it, the after effects are lovely. How does it feel around your shoulders and your arms? How easy is it to relax into the back of your body and your lower spine? So just be with your thoughts.
These silent moments are for you to inquire, observe, follow your breath. Just take one more moment to relax all the way through your back. And then we'll bring our knees in. So we're going to come into one of our favourites. We'll come into waterfall as our final pose. And if you've got your blanket handy, if you did use one earlier, this is a nice time to pop it over the feet. Keep them warm. So, coming up, if you just need to get your cushion. Blanket over the feet. It's nice because it also creates that waterfall effect as the blanket falls along the legs. And then just roll yourself up ever so gently, wedge that underneath the buttocks. And we can relax. If you have a wall or a unit or piece of furniture that you can actually rest your feet on, that's always more beneficial. But otherwise, just resting the legs upwards. You can close your eyes, draw your awareness to your third eye, Ajna, noticing the colours and shapes and movement in that void. And bringing the breath to the belly. Notice if your legs feel still today or there's a gentle quiver or shake. Deep belly breaths. Just trying to relax as much as possible, even if there is a little bit of a tension in the legs. How do you feel? Which pose have you enjoyed the most through this practice? Which has given the most benefit? Which pose had the quietest mind or the most active? So we'll just gently, let's just take 2 more breaths here. And we'll bend the knees, let the feet come down. And then just choosing whichever position you'd like, seated or lying down, to relax in. Oh, actually, just have a moment. Just take a few moments here just to rest, and then we'll come into whichever pose you choose. How does it feel?
Do your legs feel lighter after waterfall? Perhaps there's a tingling. Okie dokie. So coming into whichever rest position you want to take. And by all means, grab your blankets, your warm clothes. It's definitely that time of year now to start getting cosy. And let's take a card. See what we're offered today. Sometimes the guidance with these cards might be something that you pass on to someone else. You know, a sentence may resonate, or just a word, and you share that in the right way and it really impacts somebody else. This one is Bethany. Let's see what we're given. So just allow yourself to relax. When you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, a salt bath, or a pedicure. You are a giver, and God loves you for that. Now it is time to give to yourself. I am helping you to spiritually open your body through the process of relaxation. So you see that relaxing has its own productive side to it. The more that you allow me and the other angels to give to you, the more you'll be able to give to others. Your soul has called out to heaven, begging for some rest and relaxation. You have been working ceaselessly, and you have been juggling many other people's interests. Now it is time for your reward. This is a directive from the heavens. Take care of yourself and don't allow yourself to be swayed from this important mission. Take steps right now to create time for relaxation. You will feel happier and have more peace of mind as a result, which will benefit everyone in your life. It is so important actually to look after ourselves, especially when we have a lot of other people to look after. Because if we're not functioning, it really does knock on. It's like what they say on an aeroplane, always put your air mask on or oxygen mask on first before someone else. You need to be okay yourself to help others. And that's not selfish, it's self-care. So whatever you're doing today for yourself or for others, just try and sneak in that little treat for yourself, whether it is just 5 minutes sitting down with a book, closing your eyes, whatever it is. Just gently now, draw your mind back from wherever it had wandered. Just take a few breaths to center yourself. And gently beginning just to move fingers and toes. Or if you're already seated, you can just tilt the head from side to side and roll the shoulders maybe. Lying down, maybe just enjoy a nice full body stretch. And then hugging knees in. Just coming back into your body where the body is still and the mind wanders, just coming back into our physicality. Notice how you feel after your practice, physically and emotionally. And then when you're ready, rolling up to seated. Take a moment just to root yourself down, all of us together. Send the roots through our tailbone. I am safe, I am secure. And then we can bring our hands to heart center. Om Shanti.
Namaste.